Good morning, listeners, and welcome to Keith's Hot Takes, episode 3 of season 2 on this chilly Friday morning. Yeah, it was kind of weird this morning. It was so cold outside. It was starting to feel like fall, and then it's going to be hot again Saturday and Sunday. So that was kind of weird. I had to put on my jogging pants and sweatshirt this morning. It was kind of weird going to class, but yeah, let's have a good show today, and thank y'all for tuning in. All right, so we're gonna start out with I'm gonna predict all 16 NFL games. I'm gonna predict the top college games, and I'm gonna predict the top high school games, and I'm gonna let you know how I did last week on my picks. So let's start out with the NFL. Last night we had the Tennessee Titans visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I missed that pick. I picked Tennessee to win that game. I did not expect Jacksonville to play like they did, and yeah, Jacksonville looked really good last night. I don't know if they'll be able to keep that up, but hey, they looked good last night, and I started out the week 0 for 1. I went 10-6 last week. Had a couple teams that let me down and surprised me. Um, I think the biggest shock was it was either the Panther game, them not being able to beat the Bucks, or Drew Brees getting hurt because I thought they were going to go into the Coliseum and get revenge against the Rams. They probably would have if the ref, had called that a fumble and gave them their touchdown, and also if Drew Brees didn't get hurt. But anyways, it's a new week, and I'm gonna try to do better this week. So to start out, we have the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Buffalo Bills. I have the Buffalo Bills winning this game. They're looking very good this year, even though they beat two very bad football teams. They're looking really good and look like they could sneak in that back half of the playoffs and get one of those final wild card spots. So look out for Buffalo. I think they're gonna surprise a bunch of people, and I think this is a team that's on the come up for real. So I have the Bills winning that one. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins visiting the Dallas Cowboys. I have the Cowboys winning. They're 20.5 point favorites last time I looked. And yeah, the Dolphins, they're not looking too good right now. And but it's anything can happen. It's sports. I mean, they kept it close with New England for pretty much the whole first half, and then they had some picks and stuff like that that kind of blew the game out of hand. And so I know the Cowboys aren't going to overlook them and stuff like that. And I think the Cowboys will win big, and I think they'll cover that 20-point spread. Next, we have the Denver Broncos at the Green Bay Packers. I have the Packers winning. I think it'll be a good test for Aaron Rodgers to go up against that front four. The Broncos have a good defense. I just don't have much faith in their offense, and it's very hard to win in Green Bay. So I just think the Packers will win that one. They're at home, and I think they'll move to 3-0. All right, next we have the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Indianapolis Colts. I have the Falcons winning. Hopefully, the Falcons can play the same like they do at home on the road because I know I picked them. I think I picked them week one. No, I picked the Vikings, but I was surprised how awful they looked on the road. So hopefully they can look better this time on the road, and I think this will be a great game, and this will be our 1 o'clock game locally on CBS. And so yeah, I have the Falcons winning this game, and I think it should be a great tight contest. Next, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is going to be a great game, probably one of the best games we have Sunday. Um, I'm picking the Chiefs just for the simple fact they're playing at home. It's a tough place to play at. That place is going to be rocking. It's going to be loud, and I think it's going to be a great game. And I think Mahomes will throw a late touchdown to get the win. But apparently Earl Thomas has a master plan to stop Mahomes. Good luck with that because he's pretty much unstoppable. So next we have the Oakland Raiders visiting the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings they'll take care of business at home. I think they'll stick to their formula of not letting Kirk Cousins throw the ball too much and just relying on their running backs and running game to lead this team, even though they have a crazy receiving duo, but they don't trust their quarterback who they pay $28 million per year. Whew. All right, next we have the New York Jets at the New England Patriots. I think the Patriots will win. This one will probably be over by halftime. And yeah, the Jets are just so banged up and beat up right now. Le'Veon Bell's probably going to have to touch it 35 to 40 times just for them to stay competitive in this game. But the Jets have a good defense. They're down to their third string quarterback. So, yeah, that one could get ugly. But we'll see. It's a division game, so you never know. Next, we have the Detroit Lions at the Philadelphia Eagles. I have the Philadelphia Eagles winning this game. They're banged up, but they're at home, and I just think they find a way to win. The Lions, they surprised me last week beating the Chargers 13-10. Phillip Rivers threw a bad interception late that sealed the game. So, yeah, I was going with the Eagles. Even though they're banged up, I think Carson Wentz finds a way to win. Next, we have the Carolina Panthers visiting the Arizona Cardinals. I picked the Panthers to win this one, but I'm really not confident about my pick. Cam Newton is apparently not going to play, and I guess we'll find out today who's going to be the starting quarterback if he doesn't play. So, yeah, I'm picking the Panthers. I think they'll find a way to win at a bad Arizona team. Hopefully they have it out of hand by the fourth quarter because Arizona, the first 2 weeks, have waited to the fourth quarter and then they start playing amazing football. But yeah, you can't rely on that every week. So hopefully the Panthers can pull this one out. Next we have the New York Giants visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I picked the Bucks to win this game. I really like what I saw from them on Thursday Night Football against the Panthers, and the Giants have decided to bench Eli Manning, and they're going with Daniel Jones. So we'll get our first um, view at how Daniel Jones will be leading the Giants. He's the future of the franchise. They drafted him number 6, so yeah, you didn't plan for him to sit on the sideline forever, so they're throwing him into the fire in week 3. The reason why I picked Tampa is because I think Todd Bowles, their defensive coordinator, he likes to blitz a lot. So I think Daniel Jones is going to be under a lot of pressure, and yeah, I just think if Jameis cannot throw it to the other team 2 or 3 times, I think the Bucks will win this game. Next, we have the Texans at the Chargers. I think this will be an excellent game. Um, High scoring, up and down. But I think the Chargers, they'll find a way to win. They're at home. And yeah, I just think they'll find a way to win. And Deshaun versus Phillip Rivers, that's going to be fun to watch. I'm going to be tuned in for that one. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the San Francisco 49ers. I picked the 49ers. It's another team that's looking really good this year. Although they beat 2 really bad teams, hey, you can only play who's on the schedule, and they're looking really good, and I think they'll get a big win against the Steelers team who lost their starting quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, for the year. He hurt his elbow, and it looked really bad. It was a non-contact injury. I think he was throwing deep, and then, yeah, his elbow, he just started shaking it, and yeah, it just looked really bad. So prayers up to Big Ben, and I wish him a speedy recovery. Next, we have the New Orleans Saints visiting the Seattle Seahawks, and I picked Seattle to win this one. Teddy Bridgewater, I know he's going to probably do better than he did last week, but Seattle was a tough place to play, tough place to win at. So the Saints, they're a little banged up at quarterback. Drew Brees, he hit Aaron Donald's hand, and apparently it tore a ligament or something in his hand. So prayers up to number 9, Drew Brees, and I wish him a speedy recovery as well. Next, we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Cleveland Browns. I was really finna say the St. Louis Rams. I still haven't got used to them being called the Los Angeles Rams and moving from St. Louis to Los Angeles, but yeah. So I picked the Rams to win this one. The Browns, they really haven't impressed me this year, and they look like they're still trying to get used to playing with each other, and I think Aaron Donald's going to be on Baker Mayfield all night. That offensive line isn't that good, so Baker's probably gonna be running for his life and trying to force it to Odell and Juice. That's Jarvis Landry. That's his nickname, Juice. Um, but yeah, I just wasn't impressed with the Browns. They had a banged up Jets team, and they really struggled for the most part. And Baker, he just hadn't looked good this year. So yeah, I just got to pick the Rams. But the Browns will look better at home this time than they did last time when they probably were overlooking the Titans and got blown out by 30 at home. So yeah. Next we have the Chicago Bears at the Washington Redskins. I picked the Bears to win this one. I didn't know this until last night. I saw this on Twitter. The Bears have lost 8 straight. It was either 7 or 8 straight games against the Redskins, and the Redskins aren't that good this year. So I think that losing streak will end. And I was shocked that they lost that many to the Redskins because the Redskins really haven't been that good. But I guess they had the Bears number. All right, now we're gonna move on to college football. I went 11-1 last week, and if it wasn't for USC losing in overtime to BYU, I would have been 12-0. And speaking of USC, my first pick for tonight, for the college games, is number 10 Utah at USC, and I'm picking USC again. So USC, don't let me down. It's at home at the Coliseum in LA, and I think USC finds a way to win this one. Somehow, some way. Utah, they're really good. They're tough on defense and on offense. They're methodical and they want to grind it out. And so I think this will be a low-scoring dogfight. And Utah is really the only chance for the Pac-12 to get into the college football playoffs. So if they lose, we probably won't see a Pac-12 team in the playoffs. So, but I'm picking USC, and I think they'll find a way somehow, some way to pull off this upset tonight. Next, we have Air Force at number 20, Boise State. That's also at 9 o'clock tonight on ESPN2. I picked Boise State. Air Force has looked really good this year. They run that option offense, and they ran it 52 times last week, and they only threw it 12 times. So, they really like to control the clock, and they really don't like to air the ball out, which most Navy Academy schools, military schools, they run that option offense, and they're very disciplined. And they're not gonna make a lot of mistakes. So yeah, but I think Boise State finds a way to win it at home tonight. It's gonna be a blackout. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be rocking. So yeah, I just think they find a way to win this one. Next we have Tennessee at Florida. I picked Florida to win this one. Praise up to Felipe Franks, excuse me. He got rolled up on last week, and it looked really bad. I hadn't really heard what happened to him, but I think they said he has some. I think he broke something, his tibia or something like that, his lower leg, and it was just really bad and sad. So yeah, but their backup, he came in and looked really well, and I think they'll beat a very bad Tennessee team at home. And yeah, next we have number 11 Michigan at number 13 Wisconsin. I picked Wisconsin to win this game. Michigan has not impressed me at all this year, and they've been really shaky. And I think Wisconsin, who hasn't given up a touchdown this year, although they haven't played much competition, I just think Wisconsin, they're the better team, and they're playing at home. So yeah, I think Wisconsin will win a close game. Next, we have Elon at Wake Forest. It's Wake Forest's homecoming, and I am taking Wake Forest. Elon is a really tough FCS school. FCS school is like it's the smaller Division I schools, and they have their own playoffs and all that. And Elon, they're in the top 25 for the FCS programs, but this will be closer than people think. But Wake Forest, they're looking really good this year, especially on offense. They can put some points up. So I'm picking Wake Forest to win their homecoming game, and it'll probably be a nice, jam-packed crowd. It's homecoming, so yeah, go Deeks. Next we have number 22 Washington at BYU. I picked Washington to win this game. BYU, they've had an incredible run lately. But I just think Washington, I think they're the better team, and I think they find a way to win somehow, some way. Next we have Louisville at Florida State. At first I picked Louisville, but then I realized Florida State really needs to win this game, because they've really had a shaky season so far. And they had a 10-point lead. I think it was much bigger than that in the fourth quarter last week, but they blew it. And yeah, this is one they gotta have. But I think this will be a great game tomorrow, 3:30 on ESPN. I would definitely tune in. It should be a great opener in the Atlantic Division for both teams. So yeah. Next, we have Appalachian State at North Carolina. This will be another great game, 3:30 ACC Network. I picked North Carolina to win this one, but App State, they're really good, and we know what happened with what they did to Michigan in 2007. So yeah, I know North Carolina isn't overlooking App State, and they know they're a really sound football team, and they can really play. So North Carolina better come ready to play. And yeah, I think North Carolina will win this one. So yeah. Next we have West Virginia at Kansas. I picked Kansas. Les Miles, he shocked me last week when they beat Boston College, and yeah, I was really impressed by that. So I think Kansas finds a way to win at home. Next we have Oklahoma State at Texas. I picked Texas to win this game, and I think this will be a shootout. Probably the last one with the ball wins. And yeah, I think Texas wins late. And like I said, this will probably be a shootout. Two high-powered offenses. And if you like offense, I would tune into this game at 7:30 on ABC. So yeah, next we have probably the game of the week, because College Game Day is going to be here. We have number 7 Notre Dame at number 3 Georgia. Um, Oh, excuse me. I picked Georgia to win this game. They're at home. I think this will be a close, physical dog fight. But I think Georgia finds a way to win. They're at home, and yeah, Notre Dame is one of the few teams on their schedule that could like burst their playoff chances. So yeah, but I think Georgia they'll find a way to win at home. So yeah. Next, we have Utah State at San Diego State. I picked Utah State. They're very, very good. They've been kind of shaky this year, but I think they'll find a way to win at on the road at San Diego State. And yeah, it should be a great game. I think this will be the conference opener for both. So yeah. And lastly, we have Winston-Salem State at Tuskegee. I picked Winston-Salem State to win. They need to win really, really bad, desperately. And yeah, I know they don't want to go 0-3, but the last time they went to Tuskegee, they lost that game, and then they went on a run to win the CIAA championship. But if they lose this one, their playoff chances are probably pretty much over it and eliminated. But yeah, I just think that they'll find a way to win this one on the road at the Shed in Tuskegee. So go Rams! All right, now we're gonna wrap up today's show with the top high school games going on tonight. First off, we have Mount Tabor at 2-2, visiting West Forsyth 4-0. I think West Forsyth wins this game. I think it'll be a low scoring, um, physical, grinded out type of game. Um, I just think West Forsyth, their 1-2 punch at running back is going to be a little too much, and I think it's going to wear down Tabor's defense, which is really good. I just think that's going to be too much. And yeah, Tabor, they really look like they figured some things out on offense, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win at West Forsyth, where not a lot of teams win out there. But I won't get into that. But just know you don't win out there. So that's all I'll say on that one. Next we have Greensboro Page at East Forsyth. Page is really struggling this year. They can't protect their quarterback, and that's a bad sign when you got a defense like East Forsyth that really gets after the quarterback and gets after your whole offense. So I think East Forsyth will win this game, and I think it's East Forsyth's homecoming. So yeah, well, they'll have a sold out crowd out there in Kernersville tonight for that one. Next we have 4-0 East Surrey at 1-2 West Oaks. I picked East Surrey to win this game. They've been very unstoppable this year, and they've scored 50 plus in all their games. So I think this will be a little closer. I think this will be their first test, really. I think somebody that's going to keep it close with them. But I think East Surrey will prevail late. So yeah. Next we have North Surrey at Mount Airy. I picked Mount Airy. So a fun fact about this game: Mount Airy has won 17 out of the last 18 games, and the last time North Surrey beat Mount Airy was in 2006. Whew, that was a long time ago. I think Mount Airy wins this again this year. Just for the simple fact that they're the better team, and yeah. So yeah, and the close out my high school picks, I have the Greensboro Panthers, and Winston-Salem Prep. I picked Winston-Salem Prep to win this game. They can score some points. They've scored 40 plus points in all three of their games so far this year. And last week their running back had 7 touchdowns, and he had 317 all-purpose yards. So that was just ridiculous. So yeah, I predict them to win this game. That offense is hard to stop, and when they get going, good luck. So you have Prep winning this game. The Greensboro Panthers. They're a home school. They're kind of struggling this year. So I just think Prep will win this one big, or they should, from what I've seen so far. So yes, that's it for today's show. I hope everybody has a great, blessed weekend. Stay safe. Try to stay hydrated. It's gonna be hot this weekend, and just have fun and just be safe. And I'll see y'all next week for episode 4. Peace.